Well, oil prices fell a remarkable 7% today alone in trading, the steepest plunge in 3 years. And this was the 12th straight day of losses, the longest losing streak ever in recorded history. Drivers are happy as gas prices continue to fall, but traders are concerned that oil's fall portends a worldwide economic slowdown. So, folks, is this good news or bad news?
Yeah, from my perspective, Dave, it's good news for consumers, of course, not so much for the energy companies. By and large, when we look at what's been going on, this is a $20 drop in prices just in the last month. I think it closed something like 55.09 West Texas Intermediate. And as you say, that's the longest since they've been keeping records at the New York Mercantile Exchange. But I wonder if there's something sinister here, and I say that a little tongue-in-cheek. I mean, here we had these Iranian sanctions that were going to be put into place by the Trump administration. They weren't going to be able to export their oil, and so everybody was ramping up to make up for that Iranian production. Russia, the U.S., all the others, the Saudis, etc. And then at the very last minute, all these countries that were getting oil from Iran, China, India, etc., got a get-out-of-jail-free card, and they said, no, you could still get the oil, and now we've got this glut. Prices have gone down, so maybe there was some sinister and sneaky strategy here that worked out for consumers.
Well, to defend President Trump, he had been very honest about it and said, look, I don't want to completely gyrate and spasm the entire world market. These will be limited waivers. So I didn't think the waiver idea was very good. How is that a punishment? You know, it's like saying to your kid, no more candy, you've used the PlayStation too much, and the next thing you know, Dad's slipping him the sweet tarts. I mean,
well, President Trump also talked about Saudi Arabia yesterday, and a lot of people think because it looked like oil might have been making a recovery, but he sent out a tweet on Monday saying hopefully Saudi Arabia and OPEC will not be cutting oil production. Oil prices should be much lower based on supply. So did that have something to do with it, at least this week?
Well, I mean, all I got to say is it's been a few weeks and oil's fallen 25%, and it's going to put a lot of oil production out of business in our country if this keeps up at this rate. And this is just after we got on Saudi Arabia's case for improper behavior, as we all know. So, look, it actually brings up an issue why it was too much of a good thing. All these other countries manage their production to keep the price high. We're the only ones who are like, it's a free-for-all, which is great. It's nice to cut the regulations and pump more of this oil. It's a great industry in America. It's part of our national security. But when they all start pumping oil, there's all of a sudden a lot of oil. And then what happens? This happened like 4 times now this decade. They'll they'll cut production, or they'll raise production, drive the price down, and then we have to go out of business because we have the highest cost production outside of maybe tar sands in Canada. Well, it's happened in a few weeks. You know, in a few months, if this continues, we're going to have debt problems with the junk bonds they all issue. These companies are going to have serious problems. And then watch, the price is magically going to go up again, and then they're going to come back online and borrow money.
So far, so good, right?
The fact that we are weighing in on what cartels are doing when we're supposed to be proponents of free markets aside, Liz, don't you think it's a little strange that Trump would come out on the side of, hey, don't cut production? Don't you think that's a little bit counter to what you would expect?
Well, if you don't cut production, and by the way, we're going to be here in the U.S. producing half the world's oil by 2025. We will be energy independent.
Which is wonderful.
Which is a great thing, because that way we're not on the hook with countries or dependent upon countries who absolutely have despised us in the past, read Iran. And so when you look at exactly that, you say, well, should we bring back some of the supply, soak it up, sponge it up a little bit so that the price stabilizes? President Trump had a lot of oil companies on his side. They're not going to be on his side if they feel that he is, you know, pressuring OPEC to keep supply up, to keep the price down of gasoline.
Now, I got to ask about worldwide growth, because some people are concerned that what this portends is worse than what might be happening for U.S. companies and everything, which is a global economic slowdown. Is anybody worried about that?
Yeah, there is a global economic slowdown, and there's also a decrease in demand. The projections for next year, for 2019, for oil demand was just reduced again from last month to going forward. So, I mean, it's both these things together. But the interesting thing, and look, you know, I'm an American and proud of it, but, you know, the president talks about it should be OPEC and others that cut productions. He's not talking about U.S. cutting production anytime soon.
But that's not a good. The goal should be as much profits we can make in this
Right.
business, not how much volume we can pump out at a loss. That's not a goal of free. The bottom line is,
By the way, so far we're not pumping it out at a loss. We may
it just
eventually if it
happened.
keeps coming
Look,
down.
Natural resources and commodities are touchy businesses. We're competing against countries with lower cost structures than us. You have to manage your resources, whether it's fish eggs, sturgeon. If everyone just goes back or whatever it is, there'll be
Frozen
none left.
yogurt.
So you have to go with certain. You don't do it with iPhones, but you got to do it with oil.
I think what gets lost here, though, in the global story is that we're so focused on America doing well. We do need the global economic environment to stay strong, too. And if you look at to our neighbors to the north with Canada and the fact that what could happen with their housing and with oil and the pressure that could create on the global markets, that will end up having an effect on us. So I know we like to think about just ourselves, but we can't think about ourselves in a vacuum either.
Jonas, can't you look at this, too, and say, what about if you're talking about the free market, hedge funds are backing out of positions, retail investors are selling, and then you've got the short sellers who are coming in and saying, ooh, this is an opportunity, let's short oil. To have seen this drop of $4 in a single day. We started at $59 and change. We ended at $55 in the aftermarket. I mean, trust me, this will be the headline in most financial newspapers tomorrow.
Look, there's no question that the fact that oil became this bettable commodity that people can buy ETFs is not a great thing necessarily for the underlying real business. That said, we have to have a strategy if it goes to 30 again that isn't just rampant bankruptcies. These other countries don't all, they manage the production to keep a price profitable. We have no plan. There's no, I hate to say it, but you almost need a central plan.
Does your heart bleed? Does your heart bleed for the oil companies?
It was really rough a few years ago. They just got back on their feet after the 08 commodity crash. It was a real disaster in a lot of these parts. They shut down the wells. There was a lot of bankruptcies, and now they came back because the price drove up to over $70 a few months
We'll take the
ago.
good with the bad.
Okay, that's got to be the last word. We got to move